Hey, it's Vicky, and it's cup time. If you guys don't know what this cup signifies, this cup signifies the books that I want to read from my 100 Epic Reads poster, which is a poster slash video project that I started. When did I start this project? 2022? I want to say I started it in 2022. And basically I got this poster, it's a scratch off poster with 100 different books on it. That somebody determined were epic and that everybody should read. And I decided that I was gonna make a video project out of it so that I could read all of the books and scratch them all off, because there is something just so satisfying about scratching off those little book covers and revealing them. And so yeah, this is the first video for the series for 2024. And I'm hoping to do 5 or 6 of these throughout the year because I really want to get these books read. I'm getting really motivated. I counted right before I turned the camera on and I have 30 books left. So some of them are a little scary, a little intimidating. Some of them I have no idea what they are. And we're gonna go on a journey together. And it starts today. I have my pink cup. I put all the titles on these little pieces of paper, and I am going to pick my next book for the series. So the way I do this is I pick 2 and then I sort of decide between the 2, just so I have options. So let's get 2 pieces of paper and let's go. So I'm gonna do orange and yellow today. And let's see what we get. Okay, pick 1 is The Poisonwood Bible by Barbara Kingsolver. I have heard of this book. I've seen this book. Like, it's one of those books that when I go to library sales and stuff, I tend to see it. But I don't really know what it's about. So let me pull my phone out and let's find out together. Okay, so The Poisonwood Bible was first published in 1998, so it's not very old. I'm one of those people who, when I think the 90s, I think it was like 10 years ago. But in reality, it was 25 years ago. But it's fairly new compared to some of the other titles on the poster. And it's kind of long. This edition anyway on Storygraph is 545 pages. So it's a little bit long. Not crazy, but you know. Let's see what the description says. The Poisonwood Bible is a story told by the wife and 4 daughters of Nathan Price, a fierce evangelical Baptist who takes his family and mission to the Belgian Congo in 1959. They carry with them all they believe they will need from home, but soon find that all of it, from garden seeds to scripture, is calamitously transformed on African soil. This tale of one family's tragic undoing and remarkable reconstruction over the course of 3 decades in post-colonial Africa is set against one of history's most dramatic political parables. The Poisonwood Bible dances between the darkly comic human failings and inspiring poetic justices of our times. In a compelling exploration of religion, conscience, imperialist arrogance, and the path to redemption, Barbara Kingsolver has brought forth her most ambitious work ever. Not gonna lie, the premise isn't grabbing me, but I guess there are elements that sound sort of interesting. The idea of this family moving to Africa and things not going as planned. The idea of it spanning decades, I do enjoy family sagas that last decades, but the religious stuff, the Bible stuff, I don't know exactly how I feel about that. So I am gonna see what the second title is and then we'll make a decision. So I got my second piece of paper. Second title is The Kite Runner by, is it Khaled Hosseini? Obviously, this is a very popular book. Again, another one that when you go to library sale, there are a ton of them, a ton of copies. Lots of people have read this book. I forgot to sort of look at that. I usually look. On Storygraph, the Poisonwood Bible has an average rating of a 4.11. And like I said, the Kite Runner, I believe, also has a sequel, doesn't it? And this one, I don't know anything about it, though. Once again, it's one of those books, I've heard about it, I've seen it, don't know what it's about. So, let's look it up. So, The Kite Runner was first published in 2003. Again, 2003 to me, it was like, what, a few years ago? No, it was 20 years ago. 20 years ago. But still fairly modern in terms of the poster. And it's 343 pages, very manageable. That's a very manageable length. And it has an average rating on Storygraph of a 4.29, so a little bit higher rating. I don't know, there's lots of reviews of this book. Again, very popular, but let's see what it's about because I have no idea. Afghanistan, 1975. 12-year-old Amir is desperate to win the local kite fighting tournament, and his loyal friend Hassan promises to help him. But neither of the boys can foresee what will happen to Hassan that afternoon, an event that is to shatter their lives. After the Russians invade and the family is forced to flee to America, Amir realizes that one day he must return to Afghanistan under Taliban rule to find the one thing that his new world cannot grant him, redemption. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. If I had to choose between these two, which I do, it's not if I have to choose, I have to choose. Just reading those synopses, The Kite Runner is the winner. That sounds just like a way more intriguing story to me. Not that I don't think the Poisonwood Bible is good. It's just reading the synopsis, knowing what I'm getting into, I feel like right now The Kite Runner is more my speed. So Barbara Kingsolver, you're going back in the cup for another day. And we're gonna do The Kite Runner. Now this book should be very easy to get because I'm sure I can find the audiobook from my library or whatnot. Or I can easily get a copy of the book. Either a used copy, maybe on Pango, because I do have some Pango credits that I could use, or I could get a copy from the library, I'm sure. I'm sure my library has tons of copies. So yeah, I am going to go ahead, get my hands on a copy of The Kite Runner, and when I dive in, get some initial thoughts for you guys, I will let you know. So I think I just showed you guys a little clip of some little fishies that we have added to our family. Austin's brother and his wife asked if they could get the kids each their own little beta fish tanks for Christmas, and we agreed. So they got their tanks, we got them all set up, and they went to the store and picked out their fish. And Leia named hers Moonlight, and Hunter named his Starlight, and they're super cute. They're super cute little fish. They're pretty, and it's a nice little addition to our family in the new year. So yeah, there's that. And then I also started The Kite Runner. I have been listening to the audiobook, and I have no complaints. The audiobook is fine. I am 73 pages in, and my initial thoughts are I'm feeling a little conflicted about our main character, Amir, because this whole first part of the book, he's talking about this friendship that he has with another boy named Hassan. I think it's Hassan. And they're sort of, though they live close to each other and they're similar ages, they lived somewhat different lives. Amir is more privileged, his family has more money, his dad is educated and all this stuff, and Hassan is not. Hassan is poor, he doesn't go to school, so he doesn't know a lot, but he's a super loyal, sweet little friend. And so I feel conflicted because Amir, the way he talks about Hassan, it's like they're friends and they do all these things together, but he's also very ashamed of his friendship with him. I think because of their life circumstances, like he feels like he's not supposed to be friends with him or something like that. And so like he won't admit it to other people, even though everyone knows it's obvious that they're buddies. And so it's just a weird feeling because there's a part of Amir to me that is sort of unlikable, but at the same time he's a kid. And so I'm like, why are you hating on a little kid? Especially because he's coming at this story as an adult and like reflecting back and telling you, the reader, about it. So it has that coming of age feeling too. Because I think the whole purpose of the book is that this friendship had way more of an impact on his life than he thought possible. And now that he's looking back on it, he's realizing how important the friendship was. The other thing about Amir that sort of makes you feel sort of sorry for him is that he, like I said, it lives with his father. His mother died in childbirth when he was being born. So it's just him and his dad, and they have this, it's a good relationship, but Amir feels like he is a disappointment to his dad. And he also sort of feels like his dad, in like sort of underneath it all, sort of blames him for his mother dying because she died giving birth to him. And he feels like he like idolizes his dad and thinks he's the greatest man ever, but his dad doesn't feel the same about him. His dad, has sort of heard conversations where his dad has said to other people that he thinks Amir is a little odd because he's very bookish and he's a little awkward around his peers. And so you sort of feel bad for him because he feels like that tension with his dad. Even though their relationship is good, he feels like he's not living up to his dad's standards of him or like his hopes for him. And so yeah, I'm at the point where literally, I think on like the next couple of pages, something big is going to happen with Hassan and Amir that's going to be catastrophic. It's going to change their lives forever. And so I'm a little hesitant because I'm afraid it's going to be sad. But so far, I mean, I love their little friendship. Even though, like I said, Amir's all hesitant and weird about it, I feel like they have a really cute friendship, the way that they hang out together. I figured out why it's called the Kite Runner. It's because in Afghanistan, and this is Afghanistan 1970s, they do these competitions, sort of contests where they fly kites, and usually it's like a team effort. One person flies the kite and the other person goes after the kite if it like flies away or whatever. And they're like a team when they do this. And Hassan is the one who runs and gets the kite, and he's actually really good at it. And that's sort of one of the things that just happened in the book, is they had one of those little competitions, and it was just sort of like solidified their friendship and was like a happy time. And that's why, of course, now something really bad is going to happen. So, so far, yeah, I'm enjoying it. I think it's good. I have nothing really else to say. So when I have more of an update, I will let you know. So I was right. The next scene was incredibly sad and made me sick, but even more so upsetting, or more upsetting, was I don't want to say what the thing was that happened, but yes, it was bad. And I think Amir's role and reaction was, without saying what the thing was, his reaction and his role was, I think, understandable for being a kid and being scared and all that. But after, I'm mad at this kid. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of hate this kid right now because he was so rotten after this event. And I understand he was traumatized, he was upset, he felt a lot of things. But it doesn't excuse his actions and what he did intentionally to hurt Hassan, who is supposed to be his friend. And I'm mad. And that's all I have to say, is I'm mad. So I have reached the halfway point of the Kite Runner, and my thoughts are kind of the same. At this point in the book, and this isn't a spoiler because it says it in the synopsis, Amir and his father leave Afghanistan and they go to America. So at this point, that has happened, and Amir is an adult. And I've reached the point where he is now going back to Afghanistan. And I'm assuming that the last half of the book is going to be their whole redemption aspect of the story. And I'm ready for it. Because my thoughts about Amir haven't exactly changed. I mean, there's a couple things that have happened in his adulthood that, you know, you can't help but sympathize with him. But yeah, I'm ready for him to, you know, redeem himself and to hopefully somehow reconnect with Hassan and do right by him. So that's really all I have to say, is I'm just ready for that part to happen. So let's do it. So I think I'm in the same position that I was in the last clip, but I promise you it's a new day. We've actually had our first big snow, which for like, this is what, mid-January, was very late for Michigan. Usually we've had a couple big snows by now, so it was exciting. And the kids got a snow day from school, which was also very exciting for them. So we got our first snowfall of the year, and I finished The Kite Runner, which happens to be my first read of 2024. And overall, I am rating this book 3.5 stars. Sorry, I'm in a swivel chair and it's just making me, I'll try to stop. I'm giving this one 3.5 stars. I think I really appreciated the themes that were explored in this. Obviously there were big themes about redemption and about friendship, and I think that those were tackled well. And I also really liked how it showed you what life in Afghanistan was like. Obviously when our main character Amir is growing up, the Taliban is not there. He leaves Afghanistan and he's living in America for 20 years before he comes back. And when he comes back to a very different country. And I thought that that was also done well. Especially considering the time period that this book was published. This book was published in 2003, so that was very close to, you know, the 9/11 attacks, and when terrorism, I think, really became a thing that the common man knew about. It was, I think, a big topic in 2003. Not that it isn't a topic now, but I think before 9/11, people just didn't really think about terrorism the way that they do now. I think 9/11 changed that, and I think, so for having this book come out in 2003, centered around a country that is being run by a terrorist organization, I think that was definitely important and made this book stand out. And maybe why this book is on the 100 Upper Grades poster is because of the significance in which, not the significance in which, but the timing of the publishing of this book. I think it was very timely. And I think gave people a different perspective of what life in some of these countries is like. And yeah, so in that respect, I think this was pretty solid. The reason it got 3.5 stars instead of maybe a 4 was because I still, just by the end, I think I was supposed to feel for Amir and maybe learn to like him by the end, and I'm not sure that I did. The reason is, I think I've already expressed how when the things he did as a child, I was just like, even though he was a kid, I was like, that was awful. And I think what bothered me was even in his adulthood, when he's over living in America, he's living his life and doing all these things, he will still periodically think about Hassan and will say, oh, I feel so guilty. I feel such guilt about what I did to him, the way I treated him. And so when you get to the redemption part of the story, later on, when he heads back to Afghanistan and the redemption plot really begins, even at that point, he was still, at first, very whiny about it. Like, when he was basically presented with his task, if you will, he was like, oh, I can't do that. I don't want to do that. Like, he was whining about it. And it's like, okay, you have spent the whole middle of this book talking about how guilty you feel and wondering how Hassan is doing and all this stuff. And now here you are able to redeem yourself for what you've done, for past wrongs, and you're whining about it. Like, I just was like, it didn't really make me like him very much. So I think that was my problem with this book overall, was I don't think I liked Amir as much as I should have, even in the end. So he was a character I struggled with, I think. So, but otherwise, it was a good book. It was, like I said, I can see why it was put on the poster. I can see the popularity. The writing was good. It just, for me, the character just didn't hit home. So that is it. That is my review analysis of the Kite Runner, and why I think it belongs on the poster. So I'm glad I read this because, like I said, it's one that is very popular that I feel like I should have read a long time ago, honestly. And I think there's a sequel. Is there a sequel to this? And if so, does it center around Amir? Because if it does, I might skip it. We'll see. Or if you guys have read any more from this author, let me know if any of them are worth checking out, because I know he's got a couple now. This was a debut, not his debut novel, but I know he's got a couple out there now. So yeah, let me know that. And I think that's it. Hopefully I will be back soon with another episode in this series. Like I mentioned, I'm trying to do these a little more frequently in 2024. So yeah, I'm really excited to see what the poster is going to bring me next. And that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will talk with you soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.